Hey everybody, welcome back to another stream. Hi, we're here on Adobe Live and we are with Sarah Kuehnle.
Oh, I wish it was that. That would be cooler.
I feel like cool. I feel like it's cool.
Can I change it?
Yeah.
I might.
what's the actual?
It is Kuehnle.
Okay, Kuehnle. Why did I get cool from?
I don't know, but I'm gonna go with it.
I think it's just like it felt right for you.
I love it.
Yes, your actual last name went out of my brain. It's like, nah, she's just cool.
Aw.
Right, magic. So today we're going to be creating a children's book cover, and we're going to take inspiration from a kind of coloring book. Do you want to talk to us a little bit about you, what you do, all that goodness?
Sure, I would be happy to. Thank you. So, as I was talking about in our earlier stream, by day I am a designer on the Illustrator team at Adobe. My dream job. I'm very lucky. And by night and weekends, I'm an illustrator and character designer. And I love to make weird little characters, and recently have learned that people really enjoy coloring those characters in. And so last year I made my first coloring book. And so today I want to make a new coloring book, and we're going to work on the cover. For that coloring.
So to see the reference, if you want to, you can go to studiosuper.com, right there, and you can see this really cool coloring book that looks like so much fun. And this is gonna be what we're playing around with today. For me as a designer, it's like, outline mode, we got it. Like my brain immediately goes to like, Control Y, where are the colors? Like, oh, I'm supposed to color it in. That's not how this, okay. So we're gonna create that. Let's hop over to your screen and see what you've got going on in Illustrator and kind of talk us through your process.
All right, we're gonna super zoom in here. So I've been playing around with some new characters and a color scheme. I'm not sure if I'm set on it yet. And I have played around with some layouts for the color. Normally when I work, I actually start off just black and white with an outline. I don't have really a set theme of color. I just like bright colors.
Okay.
So I'll usually start out just with a black and white outline like this. I frequently move into grayscale at that point, and the reason I love working in grayscale before I go to color is that I can test the contrast of my illustrations. So especially when something is really detailed, and I love to have eyes and arms and legs kind of sticking out all over the place. So it's important that those things stand out. So if I'm just looking at grayscale, I can make sure that all of those individual features are actually popping out when I work. From there, I'll usually use Recolor, the older Recolor in Illustrator, to start playing with color schemes.
Retro Recolor.
Yeah. Yes. I was going to say classic Recolor, but I like retro better.
Yes.
But now, and we can try this out a little bit today, I've started to also experiment with our new generative recolor feature, and so maybe we can play with that a little bit.
Yes,
today.
and chat, if you have suggestions for generative recolor, give us any 2 words. It's kind of any 2 or 3 words, I guess, and we can do some generative recolor, see what those colors look like, play around with it a little bit. So far, my favorites, we did Lightning Strike a couple minutes ago that looked really cool, and we, of course, Ripe Banana was really good. We did Lavender Haze earlier, and Lavender Haze looked really good. So play around with that, maybe song titles, whatever you want, we can kind of generate and see what we can create with this. So we have some colors here, and are these ones that you picked out? Is this generative recolor?
This is one that I have from a palette saved in my ever-growing library of palettes. I just like the feeling of it.
Yes, it feels very educational. I don't know why, but it like puts me into like a school
like
textbook. Yeah, it feels very like textbook to me, but like in a fun way. Like this is like a fun science book.
Oh, okay, I was gonna say.
No, not in a boring, like, yeah, you know, it's like a cool school.
I want to go to that school.
Yeah, it's like the crazy biology teacher that like blows stuff up in class is like, here's your class. Like that's what this feels like.
I should rename the palette. It could just be Crazy Biology Textbook.
Perfect.
Okay. So where shall we start?
Let's start. And maybe let's just do some generative recolors and like experiment and play with it.
Cool.
Let's do, again, I just keep thinking of food. Can we see grape soda? I think this would look really cool in like a purple, like deep purple.
All right.
And then chat has some suggestions that are coming. Keep the suggestions coming, chat. We're gonna kind of generate a whole bunch of stuff here, and then eventually kind of move into Adobe Express. But we really want to spend some time on the funness of generative recolor.
Excellent. All right, so if you're looking for recolor, make sure first that you have the latest version of Illustrator downloaded. So hop into your Creative Cloud and update. Once you do, you can access recolor in a few different ways. If you have a properties panel open, like I do in the right side of my UI, you'll see that there's a quick action button to recolor. If you don't have that there, or you don't have the properties panel open, you can go up to Edit in your File menu, go to Edit Colors, and then you'll see Generative Recolor Beta in that menu. So let's launch that.
Ooh.
All right, so we have a few things happening in this palette. I'll add your prompt in just a second. We have an area where we can type a prompt. There are also some sample prompts. So if you struggle with words, or this opens up and suddenly your mind goes blank and you don't know what to suggest, there are some sample prompts here that will give you some ideas of how generative recolor works and what your results might be. And then we'll see our variations once we give it a prompt. So I think you said we're going to start with grape soda.
Grape soda. Let's see
Grape
it.
soda.
Here's a question that I have that may not have an answer. Does this work with gradients too?
Yes, it does work with gradients.
Oh, that's so cool.
All right, so we've typed in our prompt, grape soda, and now I get 4 variations of color that I can click on and experiment with.
Oh, interesting, Kate. So, what do you think is happening here? Because I think that I have an idea.
Green grapes.
It's, yes, green grapes, which is not what we would have thought of, which is interesting because I was like, that's not right. And I was like, oh no, they're just totally just green grapes.
Green grapes. I don't know that I want a green grape soda,
Yes.
but I'm not opposed to this color palette.
I agree.
It's
yes.
a little more muted than what I would normally use, but I also don't feel like I have a great sense of color, creating my own color palette.
Yes,
So,
and hello, Dave. Hello, Juxtabros. Nice to see you all in chat. Okay, so grape soda. Okay, getting closer. That feels grape soda.
very grape soda.
Yeah.
That's
And-
like grape soda. You've had some, you spilled some. There's some on the paper.
Yes.
It's all the grape colors.
Yes, the
that you
last
would look
one
for.
already feels like grape soda that like also gives you radiation.
Yeah, yeah.
Also, but that palette's really crazy and fun.
That one is really fun. So I tend to like the stranger, brighter color palettes
Yeah.
for my work. And so something like this, especially with the way the green is popping out here, I love how these little ghosties
Yep.
are popping out.
Okay, so we had some suggestions from chat.
Excellent.
Let's pop those in. First, we had cotton candy.
Ooh,
That'd be fun.
I like cotton candy.
And this is great, not just for like a single illustration. Hold on, those colors on that first one are gonna be wild. That looks, oh, tasty.
That feels far more sophisticated than anything I would normally pick. And
I was gonna
like
say,
it.
yeah, it's like not cotton candy, but this feels like so expensive.
That's probably why I never pick it. Let's see what else we got.
There we go. There's a little more of that cotton candy.
That wispy cotton candy. I'm liking the pink in that.
Ooh, contrast.
Contrast is good. I'm liking that. This one's feeling,
Oh,
I like the colors.
yeah. That's, man, it feels like it gave me more colors in that one. Is it giving a set amount of colors, or will it mix up the amount of colors that it gives you?
It should give you a set amount of colors. I believe it is giving you 5 every time.
Wow, that's crazy. All right, we had some more in chat, and that was steampunk. Someone said, can you make the design look like steampunk? So let's take a second to talk about this. There's a big difference between the generative fill that came to Photoshop, or things you see in like generative art with Firefly, and the generative recolor. What's the difference between those three that we can see?
Yeah, that's a wonderful question. When you look at Firefly or you look at generative fill, what you're getting there is new pixels being created, new images that are being created on the screen. So we're making something from nothing, or removing something. When you get into generative recolor, instead of creating new images, we're modifying an existing image. So in this case, we're just changing the colors in an illustration that already exists.
Yep. So if we wanted to make this look steampunk, we can definitely pull in some of those colors and incorporate that kind of look. So let's like rusted bronze or something, I think would
Yes.
feel steampunk.
Yeah, if we and then again, I really like that as a question of how could you make it look more steampunk, because I think the start would be with color.
Yes.
That's a great way to introduce it. But then we could start to reference steampunk assets.
Yep.
So we might use Firefly to generate some steampunk imagery that we can look at and start maybe adding clocks and bolts and things
Yes.
into this, maybe little flying machines.
Even just throwing texture on top of this would probably take it into a whole new zone as well. That first palette is like punchy.
very punchy. I actually really like that.
Yeah, I want this printed on like gold paper.
Ooh.
Right? That it's like got like the gold paper. I think that'd be really fun. All right, one more suggestion, and this is gonna be a really interesting one.
All right.
Egyptian sarcophagus.
Oh.
Andrew's gonna do some spelling here.
Sarcophagus. I think I spelled it right.
Sarcophagus. Let's see. Sarcophagus. Yes, that's right.
I just won the spelling bee. Feels so good.
Ding, ding, ding. Oh, you don't ding it, right? They ding when you're out in the spelling
When you're
bee.
out.
So yeah,
You just
silence.
get to stand there.
Yes, yes.
Nervously.
All right, so Egyptian sarcophagus. Ooh, the golds.
The golds are nice, especially with that gray that really pops out.
Yeah. Sandy. Ooh.
Sandy. Mm-hmm.
Man, this is so fun to just see a design like come to life. Ooh, I love that one.
That's fun.
Yeah.
I like the blue to that a little more than I like the gray.
That's crazy. Okay, let's do one more.
Okay.
And let's do, what do I want to do? Let's do a bouquet of roses and see what that comes up with. Because I'm curious if it'll get like different colors or if it'll all be red roses.
All right, let's see.
Oh.
Interesting. I was expecting a lot more red, but that is
That
arguably
feels rosy.
rosy.
Yeah.
The pinks there, very much. Yellow roses.
Yep.
And I like our darker.
I do too. And it's
Burgundy
interesting to
colors
see
there.
when you have your grayscale done and the values in, you can really throw any colors into those values and make sure they're balanced, but you'll still have that contrast, which is really nice.
Absolutely. And that's why I really like how generative recolor works, that we're not just throwing color at a black and white image. We
Yeah.
are taking something that you already have color on or that's grayscale and applying color there because you've already worked out how to make sure that those things are going to show up. Oh, minty.
Oh, yeah, like I've seen roses that color.
I'd like to
a
receive
minty
roses
rose?
that color.
Minty rose.
Oh, that's an interesting one too.
Oh, that's very rosy.
This feels like an old dentist's office to me, and I can't say why.
It does. It feels tasty. Like it feels like it would be delicious.
Yes.
Okay, so we have some colors. We've played around with generative recolor. Where do we want to take things with this design that we're working on?
So I think we have some really fun color options here. I'm actually tempted to maybe try something like this. And maybe what we want now is to think about adding a title on
Ooh, yeah.
there. And maybe we do that in Express.
Ooh, I would love to. So let's go ahead and, do you want to hop over into Express?
Sounds good.
Let me pull up frantically it's very rare. Do we have the same mouse? Twinsies.
Mouse twins.
Yay. I heard the sound and I just knew. Oh yes. Mouse twins. Sponsored,
We have
not
to
sponsored.
cheers them now?
Yes, cheers. Okay, so let's hop over. This is unhinged. Last stream of the day, y'all. Let's go ahead and hop over into Adobe Express. And that's not the doc that I want. I'm trying to find the one that we have that we were working on during our last stream. And there it is. So we can work on this. I'll just delete everything and we can kind of build on this since it's already shared. Perfect. And the cool thing about Adobe Express Beta, ooh, that's actually a really good suggestion, sorry. While I work on this, can you go generate ice cream rainbow sherbet and we can just flip back to your screen?
I would be very happy to.
Because I'm doing nothing interesting.
Ice cream. Rainbow sherbet. That sounds delicious. All right.
Ooh.
I like that. I want to drop the color of the background a little bit so that the rosy stands out. Let's see what else we got.
And I'm going to set us up on like an 8.5 by 11, just a regular.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Yep.
cool.
Okay, I got to see the. Oh. Oh my.
Ooh, that is rainbow sherbet.
That's like stain your tongue.
Wow,
rainbow
yes,
syrup.
yes.
That's good. Maybe we go with this. Let's go bright. Most of my colors tend to be very bright.
Okay. That's really fun. And someone is saying, is this going to be on YouTube so we can watch after the live? Well, guess what? We have an animated graphic just for you. That's right. Go ahead and subscribe to YouTube. Oh, the timing. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. This will live on YouTube on Adobe Live. Also, if you want to tune in, we are live every single day, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Pacific time. And you can ask your questions. It is live. So you can ask questions, we can answer them, and we can make your rainbow sherbet illustrations.
Perfect.
All right, so
Right.
we have your artboard over there, and what are we going to do from Illustrator to move it into Adobe Express?
So I think the easiest way to do this, since we may end up wanting to edit this illustration a little bit more, is for me to add some of these characters maybe as assets in a library that then we can use in Express.
Sounds good.
So what I'm going to do is just break this up a little bit because right now it's all one thing. And that way, if we want to move things, maybe split it to put the cover title, we can,
Yes.
we can
Sorry,
do that.
I just saw the hands and the eyes and the guy that's like, oh, and it just felt so right.
That's pretty much the vibe of
Yeah.
most of the things I create, so that's good that you get that.
Yes.
All right.
Have you seen, while you do this, I'm just going to ask you questions. I need to find them. Hold on. I started to tell a story without knowing what it was actually called. Okay, Invisible Creature, which is this awesome like agency.
Yes.
The stack and scare blocks.
No.
Yes, they have
love
little play
them.
blocks that are so fun to like create little monsters.
I love them.
And so yes, it's just a really fun thing. That was more for you than our audience. I just saw it and I was like, oh, it's so cute. All right, so we're gonna break this into pieces and then
Yes.
use the power of Creative Cloud Libraries, which is where I am right now. I am in a library. Here I am in the library. This is what the panel looks like. And all you need to do is drag it into right there. And we're gonna kind of drag this out into pieces. And while you do that, I'm gonna work and then eventually we'll come to my screen and be like, what happened? There's so much cool stuff in there.
Oh, I can't wait.
So this is something that is shared with me, so I'm able to use these assets. So as you drag them in, they're actually coming to me, which is really cool.
Excellent.
All right. Ooh, double screen. Sounds like fatality. And so we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna find, there we go. You can see that these are already coming in here and already syncing as she drags them into this document. So I'm gonna grab this and I'm gonna pull a background color. I'm gonna wait to do background color.
Okay.
This guy's gonna be at the very bottom because he just feels like he needs to be right there. Mostly because I want this guy to like animate up and be like, oh.
Perfect.
Oh, we're gonna do voiceover on this. We're about 30 minutes away from me doing the most ridiculous voiceover over this animation. Just stick around, y'all.
Oh, if you ever needed a reason, stick around.
Yeah. Okay, let's drop. No, I want it to be like slow. There he is. There he is. Our king.
I'm so excited.
All right. What do we want to title this? Chat, you get to add the title to this. Think of a weird wonky word, I think is where we kind of want to go, right?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
The weirder, the better.
Yes. So for reference, this is Studio Super, and this book is called, it's a super coloring book, right? We want some weird, wonky, misspelled, like not a ton of letters, but something weird and wonky, chat. We need a suggestion. Give us that title of the coloring book that we're working on. I'm gonna put it right up here. And what I'm gonna do is actually use the fun of generated text effects, which is really cool. So let's go ahead and just click on one of these and it will place it into our document. And whatever we want it to be, so let's do title. Excuse me. What was the prompt that we used for this color palette? Was this Rainbow Sherbet?
Rainbow sherbet.
Okay, so I'm going to type that in and see what happens over here. So we'll do title, and then I'm gonna go ahead and change, how do I make this effect? Why does my brain always Tell us what you want it to look like. There we go. Yes.
You got it.
Rainbow sherbet. I don't know why it's in all caps, but it felt right. Wait, sure, S-H-E-R-B-E-R-T?
You can take the last R out. Sherbet.
What? Sherbet. Sherbet. Okay. All right. So we've got this nice kind of like, fine. I'm just gonna do title here, and then it's gonna generate that for me in the rainbow sherbet. We're gonna go ahead and put this up here. So chat, let us know what you want the title to be, and maybe we'll change it. Maybe we'll keep it in that zone. And yes, creature feature. I agree.
Creature feature is fun. There's some interesting titles coming in. We have Herbert. I don't even know if I can say this. It's like a tongue twister. Herbert Sherbet Deconstructor.
Okay.
Let's see if I can do this one. Woodonkala Creature Friends.
Okay.
And then Wade up a little bit higher had Mouse Buds. I don't know if that was, oh no, We Are Mouse Buds. I shouldn't forget that.
Yes.
That's special.
Mouse Buds does sound like the title of a children's book.
I like Mouse Buds. And then Wade also has Daydreams and Doodle Dips.
Okay.
Fun. That's pretty fun.
I like Doodle Dips.
Yeah, Doodle Dips on its own could work.
All right, let's do Doodle Dips. I think that's really fun. So we're gonna do Doodle. Andrew just spelled doodle with a B. Doodle Dips. One word? Yeah, let's do
one word.
All right, so that looks pretty good. I think I want it to be like normal type because I know we're gonna go crazy. So I'm just gonna do text and then add in my text here. Oops. Doodle Dips. Andrew. Control A, there we go. Doodle Dips. All right, we'll size
That also
this.
sounds like dessert. I like that.
It does. Oh, I want dessert. Mm-hmm. All right, that's pretty fun. I like that font too.
Mm-hmm.
All right, do we have pieces in from our library?
Yes.
Look at that, synced right here. So you can see over on your screen, we have taken some elements from Adobe Illustrator, put it into a library, and now we can bring it over into Adobe Express. So can we do this? Can we grab a background color or kind of something in this palette that we maybe would want to use as a background, and then just drop a square in there? So I love doing this to help out clients. If they're like, oh, I need a background or I need a certain color, I can upload the colors, do all that. I love just doing a swatch palette and then dropping it in so they can just use the eyedropper tool to like grab it.
That's a great idea. All right, here's one to get us started.
Okay.
And I might play with a couple of others.
Let's see here. All right. We see this is how you know we're having fun is it gets quiet because we're just like working.
Let's get down. Let's do this.
It's work time. Get ready. All right, we got the gold in there. let me drop the gold in as well.
Great.
Syncing. All right, let me go out and come back in.
There's a lot of pipes between our two laptops today.
Yep. Yeah.
It takes a minute.
Oops, that is not the right one. And chat, if you have suggestions, if you have ideas, if you have questions, if you have a funny joke, let us know. Toss it in chat, and we'd love to hear it. All right, some eyes. All right, so over on my screen, I am using Adobe Express to kind of just line stuff up here, and I'm gonna build my own creature, which is kind of fun.
Oh, I love it.
Right? And actually what we can do is I'm gonna make another page and just duplicate it so you can build a creature as well.
Fun. I love
So
it.
fun. All right, ooh, creature fights. So let's go ahead and do one of those. I'm gonna duplicate and resize. All right, so the second page can be yours, the first page can be mine, and we are gonna have a monster fight.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Monster battle.
I was gonna say maybe a monster mash. It's a graveyard smash. All right, so it's always in the zone when you guys are quiet. Yeah, it is. All right, so we are gonna be using together the your stuff and all the elements in here, and we're gonna create our own little covers, and then maybe we have a little vote at the end.
A little vote.
A little vote at the end.
Perfect.
All right, so can we do split screen and just go split screen for this? I think that might be the vibe.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's on now.
Yeah.
That feels right.
There's an intensity to this.
There
that
is
I
an
think
intensity to
appropriate.
this. Okay, so let's go ahead and build, and maybe you can talk about how you build your monsters or kind of the elements that you're thinking through as you build.
Sure. So all of my characters start with eyes. Even my shirts start with eyes. I'm obsessed with those.
Aye.
We can take a pause for and just.
It was a good one.
Yeah,
It was good. Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
So they all start with eyes, and I never have a set plan for what I'm creating. My whole process has really come as a way to kind of unwind and just have fun making things that don't exist in real life. So I will start with an eye. I also love symmetry, and if you look at any of my work, you'll see that symmetry. So I will duplicate those. In Illustrator, we have that awesome repeat feature where we can mirror things really easily. And so I will use that. And then I'm just looking for really interesting compositions. Characters, faces and bodies, arms and any limbs don't necessarily have to be connected. I love things that look complex and that maybe you'll see creatures in it that I haven't even thought about, where you've put an eye and some arms and legs with something else that I haven't considered. So I kind of like the viewer to be as much a creator as I am when I build it. And so that's what I'll be thinking about as a part of my cover as well.
And I thrive only in chaos and will be just getting as crazy as possible, which is really fun. Chat, if you have suggestions, again, let us know your suggestions. We are going to be building monsters and doing some animation, showing you some of the features of Adobe Express, but really want it to be collaborative with you to kind of create something that we can make together as a community here on Adobe Live. I need to remember to keep talking because it's going to get real quiet real fast because I'm really excited about how fun this is going to be.
Now the competition has become a part of this.
That's
it's
very
much
true.
harder.
That's very, very true. Chat, if you have worked with Adobe Express, let me know your favorite kind of feature that you've worked with. For me, it's got to be the animation. Like being able to take stuff from Adobe Illustrator into Express and then animate, like feels like it just gives me a whole new life.
I would agree with that. I think that's my favorite thing too. I don't do a lot of animation, and so when I do, I feel like I'm relearning the tools.
Yes.
So for me, that would be After Effects. And I just don't use it enough to remember how to use it. So it's great to be able to do these things so quickly in Express.
Yes, I agree. And this is stuff that like I would take into After Effects and try to figure out like, okay, I know that I can like export this as a PNG and then move the PNG from here to there. But then like, how do I do anything else? And so this is so helpful to be able to like have everything else at my fingertips whenever I want it. And what's really cool about this as like an exercise of like a little challenge is anything that you add to the library, I also have access to. And so if there's an element that you're like, oh, I want this little piece, you can throw it in the library and then we both have access to a new little piece, which is pretty cool.
And I'm gonna do that right now. Even though this is a competition, I'm happy to share
Thank you.
these pieces with
Thank you. What a blessing.
It's the least I can do.
There's so many pieces. Do you ever like save pieces from one and use it in a different one? Like, do you have a library of monster pieces that you can pull from?
I have a few small ones. I would love actually to build more, and I should take the time to do that because I do recreate a lot of assets that I don't really need to. I redraw eyes every day, and a library might help me save a little time.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
This is so fun. This is honestly like one of my favorite streams. Just having fun in Express. And again, every single time that I've opened up Express to do any kind of stream or work that collaboration is involved, it's turned into just having fun. And sometimes, like, that's great. Grab some of your designer friends and hop into a page like this and just like see what happens.
Absolutely.
There's no wrong answers.
Well, and I think that's something that is really exciting about, again, giving someone else your artwork is just seeing what they do with it. How did they change it? How did they think about it? You're going to make completely different decisions than I would make, and that's incredibly exciting about art. I think another reason why I've gravitated
There we go.
towards this type of art is that it is just building blocks, and it's just fun to play with. And now you're making me feel like I want to share more of these assets. So maybe that's a new project for
A new
me.
adventure. Monster files. What do you call them? Is there a name that you have for your creations?
No, I need a name. I'm terrible at naming things. They would end up being called monster creations.
Okay.
So I need name suggestions.
Yeah, chat, give us some suggestions. And I am going to continue to look for, I want like a good dark. All right, that looks better. Oh, they're already heading in such different directions. This is exciting. Chat, if you have suggestions, let us know. And then I'm actually gonna like animate as I go so that you can kind of see where I'm trying to go with stuff. Let's see, I wanna do like this crazy color combos. Let's see here. Ba-bum, ba-bum. Ooh, yeah. All right, we're going places. All right, so all you need to do to animate things, click on it, then click on animation and animate. Very, very easy. And if we're duplicating something, it will keep the animation. So I actually duplicated those guys at the bottom that I have here that are sliding in, and I don't necessarily want that. And so all I need to do is come up here, and we are going to go to animation and then click on the little trash can, and it's gone.
Oh, nice. That's very easy.
You can also change the direction if you have a...
Oh boy.
Sorry, these guys animated in, and they look, watch, they just go, hey, what's going on?
Oh, I love it.
They just say a little hello as they slither on in.
You captured their intended vibe in a great way.
Perfect. Do you ever like have voices for these creatures in your head as you build them?
Yes, and I wish I could bring them out.
Okay.
I'm not good at voices. They just sound... They end up sounding like a mean old man.
Okay.
No matter what I do.
Okay, that's fair. Okay.
Yeah.
Love that.
I'm glad that you do, because I don't. It's not a thing I'm really proud of.
All right, let's see how our animation's looking. So if you're working in Express and you don't know where everything went, make sure you just have your timeline turned on. It's down in the bottom right-hand corner, and you can hit play, and that way, all right, we have things that are happening. Smooth. Let's go ahead and do the same one for this one. I liked that. Let's do it on this bottom one too. And this is really fun. Again, if you're just like playing around and trying to create some cool stuff, there's no wrong answers in design and creativity. Just like do cool stuff. Just have fun. That's all you need to do.
Absolutely. And actually, that was a big part of what led to my entire illustration practice, was that I was looking for an outlet outside of work. And my first drawing project that I started that got me interested in character design was called Don't Think, Draw. And it was a draw something every day for a year sort of project. And it was just about having fun and getting ideas out. And I think that's what I love most about this kind of stuff.
All right.
I think our chat is now in the zone too.
I know, chat. Yeah, chat. We're chat. I think chat. So I think what happens, and I see a lot of chat. I hang out with chat a lot. I love you, chat. Is when we get in the zone, they get in the zone. That they're like, oh, I'm like watching them do stuff, and they're like making things. So chat, if you have suggestions, again, say hi. Let us know where you're watching from. That's always one that gets you guys all riled up. Let us know where you're watching from. I'm watching from San Francisco. Originally, I usually am watching from Riverside. You're usually watching from up north somewhere, right?
From the East Coast. I am normally watching from Connecticut.
Connecticut. Oh my goodness.
This is Adobe Live is my work buddy. I have it on while I'm working.
Yay, thank you for watching, a loyal subscriber. That actually, I think a lot of people do that, is they'll watch it kind of like in the background or hang out or just have somebody to like work with. And that's us, is hopefully it's inspiring. I think that would be the big win for us, is if you're inspired. Okay, there we go. Alrighty then, let's go ahead and pull this guy. Let's pull this all the way to the back. Yeah, all right. All right, chat, there we go, we got you. Southern Illinois,
Here we go.
Auburn, Washington. All right, let's go ahead and play my animation and see how we're looking here. Ooh, boop, boop, boop.
Oh, it's looking so good.
Timing's a little off, but I'm gonna go ahead and change some of that. Okay, so my next thing is to work on my timing, which is fine. All right, so let's go ahead and do some slide up, very slow timing. Let's have him come in later. So once you start to understand how the tools are kind of working, it's pretty easy to get a good animation going. Because I think it's all about what you're doing to move it and then when you're moving it. Those are really the only two big things. And yes, people have us on in the background. Hello from the background.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with being in the background.
Oh, no, never. Okay. We're going somewhere here. All right, let's check in with you. What are you doing? How's it looking? Tell us about it.
All right, well, I saw your animation. I'm feeling overwhelmed now.
What's really fun is that if we want to do animation, I could hop over and animate yours while you work on it, which is crazy.
That's incredible.
Feels illegal.
It
Feels
does.
against the rules of the competition, but it is possible here in Adobe Express because we have live collaboration. What's your vibe? What's your story? What are you kind of building? Are you just going with the flow?
Going with the flow. I'm looking for some interesting layouts. I am inspired by the way that you have been treating the characters coming in and out.
Okay.
And so I want to pick up on some of that.
Wait, where are those cute little eyes?
Oh, I added them.
There's more? Oh, okay. Well, we're in a whole new zone now. All right. Man, I'm so, you guys know this if you've been watching today, I'm very rarely quiet. And this is so fun. I love doing these streams because sometimes it's less about like teaching you things, you've been learning all day, and more about like, let's have fun and enjoy an actual application. Monster doodles. Nice, with
Love
an O.
it. All right, I think I'm gonna try my hand at some animation.
Oh, all right, good luck.
Thank you.
Godspeed. Bon voyage? I don't know.
That's
I don't know
nice.
what Bon voyage feels okay for that situation.
Yeah, I like it. All right.
What am I missing here?
Oh, there's a lot of animation options. It's
There
exciting.
are a whole lot of animation options. Okay. Huh. Lots of hms and ha's happening. Interesting. It's looking into my soul. Awesome design. Thank you, Kieran. We're just having fun today. Chad, if you have suggestions, I would love some. I've hit the point where I'm like, maybe I'm stuck. So if you have suggestions, I would love to hear them. Also, you can group things and align things. I guess I'll teach you something here in the stream. Is you can group stuff in Adobe Express by selecting it, holding Shift, and then you can click on that group button. And then if I want to align things, you can use the alignment tools right over here to align middle, center, right. And I believe an improvement from the last version of Express is that you can now align groups. I think in the past you could only align individual objects. Now you can also align groups, which is really cool. I don't know if that's true, but I remember having trouble finding where to align groups as opposed to just individual objects. So it is there, and it's very easy to see now, which is really cool.
Love that.
And I saw you playing with layers. of kind of layering things. So if you ever need to select something, you can select it from over here in your layers panel, or you can click and drag, and it will actually just change where that layer is. So I'm gonna move all that to the back. I don't want that in the back.
That's great. I do love the visual treatment of that. It makes it very easy to understand what's on top, what's below.
Yes. And Miros is saying maybe add some more things on the slide. That's
It's good advice.
That's good advice. I should try harder. I'm sorry. What do I want to add? Maybe I want to add in some like generic shapes that aren't necessarily the monsters. And so I can do that. There are elements that I can use to maybe add in some little goodies. Crumpled paper. All right, there's one. All right.
That could be fun.
Right, add in some texture. Oh. Something weird happened with my texture.
Interesting.
Honestly, though, I'm not mad about it. I'm gonna click remove background and see what happens. Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. Something weird happened with this texture. I'm gonna go ahead and refresh and see what that does for me. Like some arms or something like that. Interesting development. All right, we're gonna grab a different paper texture. Do you use texture in your work very much, or is it mostly just clean vectors?
It has always been clean vectors. I'm very interested in texture, and in fact, seeing you show your texture process in Illustrator was pretty exciting. I would like to try that.
Yes.
I like to keep my files small, so I've stayed away from texture for a long time.
Yeah.
But I like that yours ends up as vector, and
Yes.
should help me keep them those file sizes smaller.
Yes, so I'm gonna actually hop into Illustrator. You can keep working over there, and I'm gonna show you how I would texture, so actually I was thinking about this, how I texture some of these kind of little creature people.
Cool.
So these little guys. Let's grab one of them. So what I would like to do is I would like copy and then paste in place. Where are we? Paste in place. And I would like add a gradient to everything. So I'm gonna do a black and white gradient. We're gonna do it at 90 degrees. Boop. And then I am going to go and apply a bunch of effects. So we're gonna do a pixelate. I'm gonna do a mezzotint here. Actually, I'm just gonna use the mezzotint here. And then do the rasterize and then crush it down. I actually have a preset that I call halftone. Where are we? Oh, I think that it might, hold on, let's see if it's actually there. I'm just gonna image trace and then see if my preset is still there. Oh no, it's not. It's when I updated. But basically I'll go in here and I will crush down some of the advanced settings. Lots of paths, low corners, super low noise. Change the threshold here. It's gonna give me a lot of points. All right, black and white tracing result, threshold. All right, I definitely want low noise. And I might have made it too dark. Let's see. I definitely made it too dark.
Okay.
All right.
But we're with you. We're following.
We're here together. I'm not mad about that. So let's go ahead and expand that. And let's just grayscale it and then multiply it down. All right, so we got some texture on there. What I actually could do is I would create a opacity mask.
Okay.
And so I would make a black box in the background. I would take this opacity mask and make it white. Group those together. Is this multiplied still? Yes is the answer. All right, so group those together. Then I'd grab all of the pieces on top of each other, go here and do make mask. There we go. So it gets that kind of like markery kind of little texture look. hey, what's going on? It's the eye that gets it for me. It's this little eye that's
Yeah.
like, hey, how are you? That's really fun.
Beautiful.
All right, so Chad is asking, can you zoom into a section and create a new animation? Yeah, let's hop over to your screen and maybe show how to animate something.
Okay. All right, so I'm playing with animation. I think I'm now copying you a little.
Oh, that's fine.
With the layout
Please do.
of my type. But I've added some animations. Let me remove. Actually, I really love this one, so I'm going to erase them. Oh, nope. That's not what I wanted. That's something different. We're going to go in. That was a big mistake. So when I have an image selected on the canvas, there's a little button at the bottom in the left panel that says animation. So when I click that, I'm just going to delete the animation I have. I can set different types of animation, which is really cool. I can have an in and an out animation. So when it starts, what's going to happen? When it finishes, what's going to happen? But I can also set up looping if I want. And in this case, I'm going to just set up an in animation. The thing I love about this, again, being someone who doesn't do animation every day, is that there are all these preset animations I can play with, and I can preview them just by hovering over the little icons. The one that I really like for this is tumble, because it makes the face just look like it tumbles in.
Yes.
What's super cool about all of these features, and I absolutely love this for building up these little slides, is that you can choose the direction that they come in. So for this one, I want it to come in from the right side, and maybe I want to do something similar here, where I'll have a tumble, but this time I'm going to have it coming in from the left. So when I play it back, we'll have to start at the beginning.
Oh, wow.
They'll tumble in from either
cool.
side, which is super fun. And then if you want, you can stack those animations. So if I want to add a looping animation to it or add in an out animation, you aren't limited to just one, which is really cool. You can also set, and I haven't even played with these, but you can set the rotation of those. So it doesn't have to come in at 90 degrees. It could come in at 156 if that's the number that you like.
Yes, it feels like a good number.
It's the number I like.
Yes, 127 is my usual go-to.
Oh, that's a good number too. I'm going to stick with 156.
Yes.
That's my number. You can use it. But
I'll use 127.
Okay.
And so that's so cool that you can designate a lot of those kind of pieces and parameters without having to know how to animate.
Absolutely. And again, the thing, and I know I keep saying it, but I love this so much, is that when you don't do animation every day, it can feel so intimidating to do that. And maybe you want that. Maybe I'm making an ad that I'm going to put on my social media, or I want to animate this on my homepage when I release the next coloring book. The idea of adding animation can just feel so daunting, and it doesn't need to here because it's been just made so simple. And so as a non-animator, it makes me feel seen.
Yes. And someone is asking in the chat over on my screen, could you do a hypnotic pattern animated to rotate in the background layer? Yeah, you can do literally almost anything here in Adobe Express. So all I'm going to do is I am going to click on Media and then go to Videos, and I'm going to type in
Great idea.
hypnotic, and see what comes up. Oh, this is a lot, but we're going to do it. This is a lot.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and rotate this. So rotate this video, and then I am going to bring it all the way up here. Oh my goodness, this is gonna be wild. All right, so we're gonna make sure that it covers the whole thing. Looks good there. I'm gonna bring it all the way to the back behind everything. And then I'm gonna go ahead and play this. Good luck, everybody. Here we go. Oh my goodness.
Oh, wow.
Whoa, that's crazy. So yeah, you can add whatever you want in the background. So let's say that I wanted it to be a little bit different. I actually could do a duotone to this background layer and change the colors on that background. So let's say I wanted it to be a little bit of that gold color that we used. I could change those shadows and just change it to a nice little gold color, going to the custom. And you can actually see in the background there what it looks like as you change it, live preview, which is really cool.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
That's pretty fun.
Not too bad. That's a lot. There's a lot going on here in my brain. But yes, you can add video, which is really cool. And you can add as much as you want until you like have a million layers. Don't try to add as much as you want because if you're adding and stacking video, it's going to get a little bit too crazy. But yes, you can add video in the background. We also, if we wanted to, could add this video to the foreground and then multiply it, which is going to look even crazier. And again, you can use blending modes on pretty much everything. So multiply is going to get rid of all the white part, and screen is going to get rid of all the black part. And so if I take this and hit OK, oh, that's really cool.
That is fun. Oh my goodness.
That's really cool, y'all. I can change the speed. I can change the volume. So let's speed that up a little bit and see what happens. We also can select it and click on Fill Video, and then it's just going to fill the entire screen with that video.
Oh, wow.
I'm in love. Really, really cool effects. Let's try to multiply and see what happens.
I feel like leaving today, my art is going to get weirder, and I'm very excited
What a
about
win
that.
that is. that's what Adobe Live's here for, is to make your art weirder.
It's perfect.
Oh my goodness, it's so fun.
Wow.
I want maybe one more. I saw a really cool like paper texture on here. Oops.
We've got a mind melt comment in chat, and I like this. Nice doodle drips. I really like doodle drips.
I like doodle drips.
Maybe I'll change mine to doodle drips.
And I found a really cool paper texture that I'm going to throw over this. That's way too dark. But thankfully, I can fix it using my duotone. And again, there's lots of adjustments that you can do in the adjustments to add contrast here. I'm going to bring the brightness up so that it's really bright to just get a little bit of that paper texture. Shadows will go down, highlights will go up.
Wow.
And this is all just like stacking on top of each other, which is really cool. Oh, let's sharpen. All right, let's see what happens here. Whoa!
Ooh.
This is so cool.
Now we're getting artsy.
We're getting real artsy, real wild. Okay, I'm gonna come over to your screen and just see what you're doing. Oh no, something went wrong. Okay, we're back.
And we're back. Perfect. All right. Now I'm just starting to overload because I'm getting jealous again of what you've got going.
I think
That's
yours, mine is definitely like crazier. Yours is much more of like an actual composition that could be a title. And again, if you're thinking about it, this could be, right, like the New York Times Kids like cover, right? And then we take it and now it's a motion cover and it's online and now it's on social media. It's so easy and versatile to do a whole bunch of stuff.
This can be the digital coloring book version.
Yes. And it
bring in
animates.
animation.
Yes. That's really fun.
All right, let's start this over again. Oh, I could spend all day playing with the animation.
That's really cool. Oh, I have an idea. I have an idea that maybe isn't a good idea. But
Those are
maybe...
usually the best ideas.
Okay, can you... I'm trying to think of how to do this. Basically what I want to do is, can you take one of these assets and then put it into the library as strokes, like the black stroke, but can you have the stroke on the inside? So like aligned to the inside.
Mm-hmm.
This is a weird idea. That's a good idea. But it's a technically weird idea.
All right, so we're gonna take this one.
Okay.
Move that. That seemed weird. Just get that out of my way. All right, so we want a stroke.
Yeah, so strokes on the inside. This is also, we only have like 2 minutes to do this.
All right, we're gonna go speedy. Let's go to properties. Do a little speed run. Stroke on the inside.
Okay, so what I'm just gonna explain it, chat, so that you can try it at home while we try to do it in 1 minute. What I wanted to do was basically have the full color version come in and have a outline mode behind it, and then have it come in together, and then have the color version fade away so that it fades into the coloring page, right? So it like animates in and then fades into the coloring page. Oh yeah, white is totally fine. And then can you toss the color in there as well?
Yep.
We're not gonna have time for this, chat. I'm so sorry. Don't hate me, chat. I'm so sorry. Oh no. All right. Chat, it's not gonna happen. I will show you on another stream another time, I promise. I think that'd be really fun to have them come in together and then have one fade away.
Yeah, absolutely.
So thanks for joining us all day. It was super fun. Thanks for exploring everything new in Adobe Illustrator. Sarah, what advice do we have people that are hopping into Illustrator today for the first time, exploring things? What advice can we give them?
Best advice I can give you is don't be afraid. There's so many features in Illustrator. Just grab some shapes and get started. Don't worry about what you're making.
Yes. Go have fun.
Just create. Have fun with it.
We'll see you again tomorrow. I'll be up bright and early for a Pride stream. We'll be doing some Pride content tomorrow morning. So tune in here on Adobe Live every day from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Pacific time. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
Bye, everyone.